We're a data-driven agency, and we always have been. So over the 25 years, we've been democratizing the data through Excel spreadsheets, essentially,
Right.
or factor machines, or whatever they may be.
Whatever the
emails,
latest tech is, right?
Whatever the latest tech is. But where we are today and what we now have and how important it is to democratize that data more easily, and how important it is, it allows us to not have these siloed groups where the older ways of doing things essentially still does create some silos. It's harder to do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DataCloud Now. I'm currently in London, where I'm now delighted to be joined by Lee James, Director of Strategic Partnerships and AI Adoption for EMEA at Domo, along with Raj Degan, Director of Technology at All Response Media. Gentlemen, really looking forward to diving deep with you today.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you.
Great to be back with Domo. We often hear about AI being a tool for data scientists and engineers, but there's a powerful trend towards democratizing data and AI-driven insights for everyone in an organization. From your seat, how is this shift changing the expectations of business leaders in their teams?
Yeah, Ryan, thanks for the question. It's brilliant to be back, and what a wonderful setting now we're in today. It's amazing.
It's all happening here in London today.
It is. It's definitely happening today. We're seeing the shift because customers are coming to us expecting intelligence now in each of their teams.
Right.
Rather than it actually being with a data science or a data team. The Domo and the Snowflake platform is helping to drive that too. You know, it's democratizing access to data. And then from a Domo perspective, we're giving everybody access at the top layer to then build applications, etc. Now, I'm a big NFL fan. I don't know if you're an NFL fan.
Big sports, always lit.
NFL was in London over the last weekend. We had the Browns playing the Vikings. And what's really interesting for me is, in the past, people saw AI as like a specialist team, like a special teams in an NFL team, for example.
Well said, yeah.
Thank you. But I think now the intelligence is not just in the offense or defense or a special teams. It's actually across the whole of the NFL team. They're always looking at the whole. Each department's now looking to see where they can make decisions through that as well. And I think leaders are now moving from what happened to kind of what next. And that's guiding them in terms of where those decisions are being taken. And it's now within inside their teams as well.
Very well said, and it's wonderful to be joined with your customer in All Response Media. Raj, from your perspective, with 25 years of the leading performance media planning and buying experience, how is the AI Data Cloud in combination with Domo allowing your customers to gain that competitive edge?
So as a performance media agency, it's key for us to get all of the data in quickly, reliably, and time to insights is absolutely key. So Domo and Snowflake really helps us do that. So with the Domo side of things, we're actually using over 25 of their connectors to connect to all the various platforms, all different channels across offline and online. And what that allows us to do is create quite a lot of data sets. We've got over 270 data sets that then find themselves into Snowflake, which really equates to around 9 million rows of data coming in through that process, through Domo into Snowflake on a daily basis. Now, with that, we get clean data, we get reliable, single source of truth that then is presented back to our users, our planners and buyers, to really act on those insights. Snowflake then allows us to have the AI power to model that data to give even more intelligent insights to our users.
It's wonderful to hear. Thank you for that, Raj. And now I want to look very much, Lee, on the conversation you started, and that's looking internally, and I want to dive in deep to both Domo and All Response Media. From a C-suite perspective, why is it no longer enough to have a few, say, data experts, but instead, ultimately, is it mission critical to empower the entire workforce with the data-driven insights? Lee, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'd say 100%. I mean, just feeding off of what Raj mentioned there, Raj has built a platform that the whole business can now access. You know, they're able to make decisions and intelligence. Each team, I mentioned it in my previous answer, and that's what Raj has driven forward at All Response Media. So the key bit for me is how do you now continue to scale that? How do you make it secure? How do you make sure that the teams have access to them, drive even more insights than what's happened before? So I think from a C-suite perspective, the leaders have really got to change how they're empowering. You know, asking each question each day around what insights can I drive from here? What are you driving? What can drive our business forward? I think Raj is really showing how he's doing that at All Response Media.
Well said. And Raj, I'd love you to go a little bit further on your previous answer, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. So our CEO, Andy Sloan, he's always been very much follow the data. We're a data-driven agency, and we always have been. So over the 25 years, we've been democratizing the data through Excel spreadsheets, essentially,
Right.
or fax machines, or whatever they may be,
Whatever
or
the
emails,
latest tech is, right?
whatever the latest tech is. But where we are today and what we now have and how important it is to democratize that data more easily, and how important it is, it allows us to not have these siloed groups where the older ways of doing things essentially still does create some silos. It's harder to do. So that follow the data, core principle for response media, super important. It breaks down those silos. It makes sure everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. We've got reliable data, and that's important across all the business, which then gives us the opportunity and takes away any missed opportunity. So democratizing across all of our business with this data is very important. It's a competitive advantage for us, and it has always been the case.
Well said, and very much, Raj, to your point, that top-down approach, so you have that consistency across the board. It's wonderful to hear. Now, Lee, to you, let's focus on democratization, and that's very much at the core of the Domo and Snowflake partnership. How does Domo's intuitive platform running on the Snowflake AI Data Cloud make it possible to securely deliver AI-powered insights to decision makers across the collective ecosystem?
Yeah, great question, Ryan. I'll just build on Raj's answer as well. I think when you look at Domo and Snowflake in terms of how we come together, we drive outcomes for people like all response media.
Right.
And we do that via orchestration and accessibility. So we have over 1,200 connectors today. Raj is using a huge amount of those today. A low-cost ETL, and then all infused with AI. And then we can provide that visually, both via dashboards, or that can actually be done via custom applications today. And I think what's a key point when we talk to Raj and his strategy in terms of where he's going, he's looking at outcomes for his customers. And on the Domo platform, you can do that end to end. There's not multiple tools, multiple AI tools. It can actually just leverage and sit across the whole of Snowflake, take advantage of things like Cortex AI, SQL, which is all fully embedded today. So I think for me, that democratization comes in at how people leverage, how they orchestrate, and how they drive that accessibility too.
It's wonderful to hear. And Lee, some exciting recent news.
Yeah.
Domo was highlighted in Snowflake's Modern Marketing Data Stack report. How are your joint collaborations around Customer 360 and retail driving business outcomes on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I thought it was well, thank you about the report. We were extremely excited. I think it shows a measurable impact that we're having between Snowflake and Domo. If I just show a recent example of that, we've just deployed a media mix modeling app on Snowflake and Domo. So that allows any company, any marketing company to look across any channel, whether it's Google, TikTok, LinkedIn, bring them together, make predictive outcomes using Cortex AI, SQL, and then you can then look to do budget optimization around all of that as well. So I think for us, super excited about the marketing and getting the award and being in the report, but I think for us, it's now about what's next. And as I mentioned earlier, these outcome-based capabilities that we're now bringing to market, it's just allowing people to move at speed with Domo and Snowflake.
Very much a win-win on both sides, and I'm looking forward to what's next. Gentlemen, before we wrap, for business leaders who want to cultivate a truly data-driven culture, what is the most important piece of advice you can offer them to get started? Raj, why don't we start with you?
I think start with empower them. Empower your people. Give them the data that they need. Expose insights early. Really important, making them day-to-day decisions as quickly and accurately as possible. And I think the other thing is just helping them get to these reliable, faster insights.
Yes.
Gets the adoption.
Very well said. And Lee, from your seat.
I'll just build on what Raj mentioned, start with intent. Culture shifts, as Raj highlighted, when people see the benefits.
Right.
It then becomes really natural to people to say, actually, I want to dive in more. What more can I see? So I think I'll go back to Raj's point around empowerment. Empower your teams, look for insights, embrace when they see those insights, and put a process and a mechanism in place to bring those to life more too.
Very well said. Very much all in it together, day in and day out.
100%.
Well, gentlemen, it's been such a pleasure sitting down with you. It's all happening here in London today, an exciting next chapter. Thank you again for joining me.
Great.
Thank you.
And for the audience watching, I'm Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon.